welcome to Together We Can. This is June, and I'm so happy that you are here. I'm super excited for this afternoon, and I have no doubt that we're going to have fun. We're going to learn a lot. Apart from that, we would also take out nuggets that we can use to empower children wherever they might be. But before we get right into the agenda for today, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the agenda. But let me know where you're connecting from. Let me know where you're connecting from. I am in Milton, Ontario. So wherever you are, feel free to use the chat and share where you're connecting from. We want to know about you, we want to know where you're connecting from, and so we can make the best out of our afternoon. So please go ahead and let me know in the chat. Let me know where you're connecting from. I'm just going to pick that up. Let me bring out the chat and start seeing. Okay, good evening, good evening. Okay, let me see. Jenica is good evening, Jenica. Okay, Margaret is joining from Windsor. Hi, Margaret. Pardon me, in case you see me looking elsewhere, not looking directly, it's because I have multiple screen. So just know that I am here, but I'm just trying to navigate all my screen. Okay, Margaret is joining from Windsor. Hi, it's Windsor this afternoon. Jenica is from Kings Lynn, United Kingdom. Hello. Oh, good evening. It should be very dark now. Jenica. Toluoke is from Kitchener, Ontario. Hello. How are you? I'm sure we have more people. Deborah, how are you doing? Faye, how are you doing? Feel free to use the chat. Deborah is from London, Ontario. Hi, how is London? I'm here to visit that your beautiful city, but I'm going to probably during the summer. I'll see what I can do. Faye is from Leicester, UK. Hi, Faye. It's been a while. How are you doing? I'm waiting for more people. Okay, Buki, where are you connecting from? Oh, from Mississauga. Okay, I was in Mississauga this afternoon. It was raining cats and mouse in Mississauga. Hi, Buki. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. Let's see. Who else is here? Let me know where you're connecting from. Can somebody send a reminder? Tolu, can you send a reminder in the WhatsApp group that we are live? Please help me. I know I set a 30 minutes reminder, but please help me let everybody know that we are live. Thank you. So today is going to be a fantastic day. I'm super excited. I don't know about you, but this planning has been in the works for about 3 months. Yes, 3 months in planning, but I'm so happy that we have the opportunity to connect with Miss Vrinda and to learn from her. But while we wait for more people to connect and join, let's do the parent check-in. Let's do the parent check-in. For those who are here, I'm going to share my screen, but I need you to try and navigate. I know as parents, we are doing multiple things at the same time, but please try and navigate with your phone and just help me answer the parenting weather report. That would really help to, I'm going to launch a poll now, but that would help us, to know how to target the conversation for this afternoon. So please just, I know where I was coming. I came from Mississauga this afternoon and it was rainy cat and mouse. And I was like, okay, maybe we do a parenting weather report and see how everyone is doing this afternoon. So I'm going to launch the poll shortly now. You see that on your phone. Feel free to just, okay, now IT wants to do itself now. I don't know. Launch. I've saved you. I want you to launch. Just launch my poll. Launch my poll. Let's see if I'll get that again now. Hmm. It seems it doesn't want to work. Oh, and I was hoping that I would use that to get everybody's pulse to see how parents are feeling. And the question was, if your parenting journey, how was your parenting journey this week? If you were to forecast it as a weather report, what would it be? Would you say your week this parenting your child was sunny? Would you say it was partly cloudy? Would you say it was thunderstorm, like you had a lot of ups and downs? Or would you say rainbow, you had a breakthrough? And I was hoping that I can get parent respond, but I was just going to keep trying. But yeah, just you can also just respond in the chat. But how was it for you? How was your week? How was your week? I want to know how your week went so that we can know the best areas where we can support you. Hmm. This thing is so finicky this afternoon. I thought it was going to cooperate with me, but it's playing hard to get. I don't know why Zoom is playing hard to get today. But yeah, let me know when, let me know how you're feeling. How are you feeling today? For me, my week was, what's the best approach now? Let me see. For me, my week was, will I say, partly cloudy. I had some very good days and some days where I was really spent and tired. But yes, I would say my week was partly cloudy. But let me see, how was your week? How did it go? How was your week? Um, I'm still trying to see if I can launch this because I thought it was going to be really cool and to just get a glance, like a picture overview of everybody's week. But yeah, it's trying to play hard to get, and I'm not gonna toast you and spend much time on you. But yeah, let me see. Anybody telling me how was your week? How did your week go? Can we use the, oh, Tolu said it was rainbow. Rainbow means something wonderful happened this week, right? Oh, somebody else. I'm partly cloudy. Oh gosh, two in one. Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. We know every day we are making strides, we're making progress. So yeah, let me see who else want to share. How was your week? How was your week? Jinika, how was your week? Was it rainbow or cloudy or you had thunderstorms? How did it go? How did it go? How did it go? How did it go? I'm here. Hey, I'm trying to see if I can catch more people's responses. How was your week and how did it go? Oh, Faye said it was cloudy. Oh, a combo of sunny and stormy. Well, it happens. Let's see. Deborah said hers was partly cloudy and rainbow. Good, 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 good. Yes, our journeys are they're all fantastic. Like we all know, experiences are different, but one way or the other, just God just give us the strength to just keep pushing. And I'm hoping that by the end of today, you will learn one or two things that would help make your day brighter, and so you will have more positive days. Now, to just give you a glance of what our agenda will be like, apart from the parent check-in, we're still going to check in while we wait for more parents to come. Then we'll have our guest speaker. She's already in the midst. She's in our group already, and she will start speaking by 3:20. And I know a lot of parents have sent in their questions, so I'm hoping that we have ample time to answer your questions before we go out to our breakout room and share closing reflections, open forum for any questions that you have that you want us to navigate together. So that is how our afternoon is going to go. And yes, before we jump right in, let me use this opportunity to welcome anybody connecting with us for the first time. If this is your first time in COAAMF or in our Together We Can meeting, can I just put your hand up so that I can give you a special shout out? I would like to welcome you specially and connect with you after now. But Chronicles of an Autism Mom. Hi, Deborah. There you go. And somebody else. Let me see. Who is the other person? Sorry, I'm just navigating so many screen. Deborah and
Marvelous.
sorry, who is that?
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Hi, Marvelous. How are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Together We Can. Together We Can. It is a community that have parents raising neurodivergent children. And what we do is to come together to share our learnings, share lessons learned, support one another, cry on each other's shoulders. But ultimately, we just believe that everyone on our community, we are able to thrive by the grace of God. And so we do that by leaning on one another. We have Together We Can like this, whereby you can connect, you can get to know one or two people in your child's age bracket, share lessons learned, life experiences, somebody that you can easily call if you are overwhelmed, or if you have a question or an area that you're trying to troubleshoot. That is where we have for, that is why we are here, and that is exactly what we do. And there are different means in which you can connect with us. You can either join our WhatsApp community, or you can connect with us on social media, on our YouTube page or our Instagram page. How can you connect with us again? Yes, we also have comb praise at the end of every month. And apart from that, in our Instagram bio, you can book a one-on-one session. It's free. And literally what I do is during my busy day, I just put some people in my calendar whereby if there's a problem area, we can, troubleshoot that together. So those are the several ways in which you can connect with us. I'm so happy that you decided to join us today, and I'm sure that you will leave with something tangible this afternoon. Thank you and welcome to Together We Can. Now, let's go back into another parent check-in. And from there, we'll just go right into our agenda for today. So the next check-in is a question that I have for everyone. I have a question for every parent here, and I'm just going to bring that up now. Okay, my question is running away. It's me and IT today. They like it or not, they have to cooperate with me today. IT just have to cooperate with me today. Anyway, but the question I have for everybody is, when you hear empowered parenting, what comes to mind? Like empowered parenting, what comes to mind? For me, is a place where I can ask questions freely, and I can live immune with some strategies that I would use this week. That's what comes to mind when it comes to empowered parenting. But I want to know what comes to mind when you get empowered parenting. What comes to mind? I'm asking this question because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that we're able to at least meet people where their minds are. So what comes to mind when you think of empowered parenting? Please feel free to use the chat. I would really appreciate your feedback. So what comes to mind when you hear empowered parenting? You guys type now, or you can unmute yourself if that is easier. Parenting with strategy, yes. Parenting with strategy. Thank you, Sheyi. And if you want to unmute yourself, it's okay if that is easier for you. You know how we do it. We don't hold ourselves back. I know people are typing, but let me see, press the enter button or press the send button so I can read out your feedback. Yeah, parenting with strategy, empowered parenting. Yes. What else comes to mind when you hear empowered parenting? Okay, sharing practical steps that may work for others. Yes. Practical steps that might work or that you can use to support you and your child. Yes. One more person. I'm looking at the time because I want us to, yes, strategies for successful parenting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Margaret. And those are some of the many things we'll be doing this afternoon. You'll be learning strategies for successful parenting. You'll be learning about practical steps in which you can help navigate certain behaviors. Is there somebody that wants to share? And then you will also learn parenting with strategy, what strategies that you can use to help support your child, irrespective of where they are, how old they are. And yes, we'll be learning together this afternoon. Now, before we go in, we're diving right into our agenda for today. But let me just give you a quick, just bear with me for a minute, a quick bio about our guest speaker this afternoon. Miss Vrinda is somebody that I have worked, or my family has worked with her personally for the past 5 years. Yes, she's been that support for us. And she came into our lives in 2021 while my son was in an ABA therapy center. She's one of the clinical supervisors in that center. And I can tell you for certain that we met her while Demi was about 6 or 7 years old. And over the years, she's given us strategies to help support Demi at home, strategies to help support Demi in school, the right questions to ask, how to manage behaviors, transitions, how to support Demi in his transition from one level to another in classes. Apart from that, she's also supported us, just as a parent, me as a parent, questions I need to know, how I should frame my mindset. And so she's one of Demi's super cheerleaders. And that is why, for those who know me, everything that I do in COAAMF is out of love, like the depth of my heart. And when I know somebody has been a blessing to me, I don't want that blessing to just reside alone with me. I want that every family should also, connect and learn a thing or two. And that's why we have Ms. Vrinda here this afternoon. She's Demi's clinical supervisor. And I can tell you for a fact, the first day Demi stepped into that center, they had to get a male to help him in because he didn't want to go into the center. He didn't know what to expect. But now, Demi is someone that he hasn't gone there for the past 6 months, but Demi asks to go to Turning Point every now and then because he misses therapists, he misses clinical supervisors. He has a family, a body system there, and he has learned so much over the years. I can tell you that now Demi has no problem behavior that we are worried about, to the glory of God. And that's because all the strategies she's shared with us over the years, we learn in the center and we implement at home. And Demi is thriving, as you can see. He's doing phenomenal things. And I am so proud. And I think she should be very, very proud of that as well. So without further ado, I would give the floor to Ms. Vrinda to just share with us. Like I said, Ms. Vrinda is a special educational teacher. She's a special education teacher, pardon me. She's a clinical supervisor. She's also a behavioral analyst. And I think she should be done with as SLP as well, because I knew you were working on that as well. So she is a whole rounder, like talk about whole rounder. She's a powerhouse. And I'm so excited to welcome Ms. Vrinda to TWC. Can you give her a round of applause, please?
Thank
Please
you.
give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abiola. That was a lot of words for me. I'm just very, very happy to be here. And you're absolutely right. I am absolutely the biggest cheerleader for Demi, and I am so proud of him and how far he's come. It's always a pleasure. It was always a pleasure to work with him, and I'm so excited to see where he's come and where he's going to go. So it's absolutely exciting to be here, and thank you so much for having me to share what I can in the next 45 minutes. I will try my best to pack it all in there. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. Okay. Are we able to see it?
I can see your screen now.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, so all right. I know Abiola asked all of us about what empowered parenting means, and we had a few great responses. First few slides, I will be reaching that point where I share what I think empowered parenting means for me and what it can look like for other parents as well. Absolutely, strategies and practical parenting, all of that is a part of something we will discuss today. So these were the things that kind of stood out when I was thinking about what I want to put out there. So understanding your child's profile, we're going to be diving deep in that. I kind of have selected two of the behavior basics that we all parents should follow. And the third one is action speaks louder than words. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. And the last one is identifying lagging skills. I think me and Abiola have gone through a lot of identifying lagging skills when it came to, academics and any possible subject area that we used to speak about, and just building and bridging those gaps. Okay, so if there's any questions, so Abiola, we're taking questions at the end, right? So I'm just
at the end.
Talk through it. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's begin. Okay, before I start, I just want to say that this is purely for general education purposes. As a behavior analyst, I'm unable to give very specific strategies at this platform, but as we all know, every child is different, behaviors are different. So I just wanted to put that out there before we start. And now diving in. Okay, a few questions that I always want to ask parents, and it's always helpful if I know these things when I am working with a child. How does my child experience the world? Like, what exactly does he see? Something that I have learned across the last 15 years of being in this field is what I see is not exactly what this child is seeing or experiencing. If I am in the playground, I hear silence, right? There's nobody, but for a child who's standing next to me, they are experiencing that playground in a very different way than I am. So even the wind may bother them. It can be loud for them, but for me, it goes unnoticed, right? So knowing how your child experiences different situations is important. What helps my child feel safe, connected, and understood? Who is that one person that he runs to when he wants to feel safe, wants to feel connected? When a child enters a therapy center, like Abiola was saying, or any other space, whether it's a school, whether it's any other space, does he feel connected, and what can we do to make him feel connected? So it's important that parents know what makes their child feel safe, feel connected, and understood. A very, very big one is, how does my child communicate? It could just be hand leading gestures, or he could be using an AC device, sign language, or words, anything. It could be a mix of two, no problems. Just understanding, how does my child communicate the best? And how does my child learn the best? Does he like modeling? Does he prefer visuals? Does he watch nursery rhymes to learn his numbers? How has he learned his skills so far? So knowing that is a great strength, especially if you're trying to pass on information to somebody. We'll dive into advocacy in a little bit. And what skills are we still developing? So what skills does he have? What can he do? And what he can do, maybe learning, not there yet. So just being very practical and realistic about, yes, my child can do these things, absolutely, 100%. And these are things that he's probably at a 50%, 30%, or not yet. We haven't started that, right? So these are some questions that I feel I should know for my own son. My son is 11. So I always keep asking these questions to myself if something's changed, or even if somebody's asking me questions. These are things that help me advocate better for my child, right? So just to make it slightly easier, we've kind of divided these questions to three components. The first one is sensory. So first question that we discussed was sensory. So how does your child perceive the environment around him? What makes him calmer? What makes him wound up? Like, why is he bouncing off the walls today? What's going on, right? Is it food? Is it too much outdoor time? You'll be actually surprised to know that sometimes we say, oh my God, this child has so much energy. Let him go out and play, or let him go jump on the trampoline. But I have worked with a few little ones who come back from jumping on the trampoline and they are more high energy, and they have absolutely double the amount of energy that they went out with. So clearly that's not something that's working for them. So it's extremely crucial that we know what works for your child. And if we haven't figured it out yet, there are different ways of identifying what profile your child has when it comes to his sensory needs, right? I think occupational therapy is great. People, like, they do a profile. Based on my experience, some kids do like a calming space. So if that's something that helps your child versus going outdoors, some kids like to listen to music to calm them down. When I talk about my son, when he comes back from school and he's most of the time very overwhelmed after 3 p.m. He needs half an hour of no talk. So he just needs to be left alone. So that's like his sensory space. Leave me alone, no talking, don't ask me questions kind of space. And that's how he regulates himself. So every child is different, and knowing what works for your child is very, very important to move forward with understanding behaviors and advocating for your child. So sensory needs is one. Next, coming to communication. Communication and how they deal with emotions too. What does your child do when they are overwhelmed? What does your child do when they're happy? How does your child come and tell you that, he's had a great day, or he's feeling hungry, or he's tired, he needs a diaper change? There's so many things that are going on in a child's body, and how are they communicating that with you? It could be as simple as, holding your finger and taking you to the bathroom if they need a diaper change, right? But if they are able to do that, and if we are able to understand that that's how we can expand that communication, we already are seeing success, right? So communication being a very, very big portion of your child's profile, knowing how they do it and how we can push them further with communication. The third one is your child learning profile. How do they learn new skills? So recently, I've noticed a lot of these little ones, they come with knowing their numbers and knowing their alphabets, and you're just singing songs. So that I do believe is kind of a side effect of screen time. A lot of nursery rhymes and number blocks, all of that. Child already knows single-digit addition when they come in, because number blocks is their favorite show. So again, it's not wrong. It's just how your child has learned things. And it's good for us to know, and your team, your support team, to know how they learn. So we are not spending time, trying to figure this out. We already know he's a visual learner. Let's, it's amazing. So some kids can be visual learners. Some kids would like to model. So we usually model it for them, and then they learn. So it's more like imitation. So they learn by looking at somebody do the same thing, and then they will imitate and learn new skills. So identifying how your child learns is a great way to also support your school's team, to kind of advocate in the school, to push them with their academic goals, making them sit in front if they're not able to focus in a group instruction. For example, a child can have written instructions at the desk that this is exactly what they're expected to do in the next 10-15 minutes. So different ways of adapting the environment for your child. But again, coming back to the crux is understanding and knowing exactly what works for your child. Again, this does not happen in a day or two. It's a process. You just keep observing and picking on all the cues that your child's giving you, and make notes. That's my favorite. Okay, and this is where I'm diving into advocacy. Whether it's school, whether it's your support team, I do hear, even as a parent myself, I'm like, you know what? He just absolutely does not listen to me. But what I would like to say is he's processing the environment a little differently. He needs some extra supports when it comes to not just giving me verbal instructions because I cannot process what you're telling me. Please write it down for me or give me a visual. I will then show you that I can listen, right? I can follow your instruction, but I am just not able to do that when you are talking to me either too fast or not with any visuals. So knowing your child's profile helps us be a little more specific when we are trying to give somebody else information about our own child. The next example I had is my child cannot handle parties because a lot of our kids get very overwhelmed. So instead of saying my child cannot handle parties, it's more where he becomes overwhelmed in loud, crowded environments. He definitely needs access to headphones and a break space, a small little room, maybe where he can go and sit down when he's feeling overwhelmed, right? And also communication. I need to go. I am very overwhelmed. I cannot stay. So that piece as well. So understanding your child's sensory, emotional communication and your learning needs helps us advocate for our children much better. So just that piece where I wanted to focus on really paying attention to what works for your child. And absolutely, every child is different. It's going to look very, very different for everyone. So that is this one. Moving on, behavior is information. I'm sure everybody's heard this thousands, 2,000, 5,000 times. I'm going to repeat the same. Behavior is information. Behavior does not mean that the child is being bad. The child is not being bad. The child is communicating. The child is giving us information. Having said that, is all behavior okay? No. My child is giving information. Is he allowed to hit somebody else? No. Is the child allowed to throw the iPad? No. We are not saying that behavior is information and that is allowed, but no, behavior is information. And with that information, we are going to make some changes and we are going to work on teaching. So what exactly can your child be saying? This is too loud, right? I feel unsafe or overwhelmed. I don't understand what you're asking me to do. I don't know what to do instead either. You're telling me don't climb on the table, but I don't know what to do instead, right? I have to climb something. I need help. This is too hard. So this is just some examples of what the behavior may be communicating. And there is possibly a lot more examples of this. Okay, we are now going to dive in to the two behavior strategies that I was talking about in the beginning. Let me move this here. And I'm going to check my notes too, so I'm not missing out on anything. The first one that we're going to be talking about is follow through with teaching. And number two is Grandma's Law. I'm sure Abiola is, he knows this in and out, but I do think with, everybody that I work with and, the little ones that I see across actually all age group, not just the little ones. But the first one is something that I do repeat. I see myself repeating a lot with parents, and it is one of the most effective strategies. And the second one is pretty common, but we'll be discussing a few little nuances about how to when we talk about these strategies. So diving into the first one, follow through with teaching. So I have a scenario here for you. I'm pretty sure it might be pretty common as well. So the scenario is your child is very excited to go to the park. He eagerly talks about swinging slides and other favorite activities on the way there. He's very, very excited. Even if he's not talking, he's asked you to go to the park. Once you arrive at the park, they are super focused and exploring, and they move away and run away from you, not checking if you're close by or not. They're just running away. And well, at this point, yes, there's no safety awareness. Not looking for cars. We are not looking that we are probably in a parking lot. And they continue to run away, right? Common example, I think so. I do hear, a lot of parents sometimes that he's not listening, he just keeps running away. It's not safe to take him to the park. So we have stopped taking him to the park because we can't run behind him, right? So the thing here is, yes, as parents, I know it becomes very stressful when you have to run behind the child and you can see it's not safe. Safety comes first. It's the most important thing. We have to keep all kids safe. Now, what do we do in this situation, right? So this has happened once and this has happened twice. So what do? We are going to teach the expectation. So this is where the follow through with the teaching has come in. We are going to teach the expectations. We are going to use the visuals if needed. We are going to practice the rules. We are repeating the rules before leaving the house. And we are going to repeat when we come to the playground, right? So I kind of have a script here, which again is you can change it based on the situation. So it's a very simple thing. We are going to the park. When you're there, I can play on the slide, swing monkey bars. When it is time to go home, we will walk together, right? To the car or we're walking home. If I run away, we will go home and try again tomorrow, right? The crucial piece here is, one, you can tell them what you are going to be doing. Number two is what happens if they still run away from the parents and are being unsafe, right? The follow through is about going back home when the running away happens. And that's exactly that makes all the difference, right? So this is before you go, we are going to teach, we are going to repeat our expectations. For our visual learners, we are either going to write it down or we are going to make images to ensure that what we are saying is being understood, right? We are going to do all of this and then we are going to take them to the park. What happens at the park? He runs away, right? He goes to the park and he runs away. You are going to ensure safety. You're going to bring your child back, making sure that he's safe. You're holding his hands. He's not running away again. You're going to use very short language. You're going to say, running away is not safe. We said, you have to kind of walk, you have to stay close. We are going home now and we are going to try again tomorrow, right? What did we do here? We ensured safety. We used very short language. I am not yelling. I am angry. I'm absolutely fuming, but I am not going to throw that at the child. I am going to just keep it short and I'm going to follow through. I'm going to say, we said we would go back home and we are going back home now, right? You're going to try again. You're going to repeat this process. And trust me, you do this 3 times, it usually does not happen the 4th because they know you mean it. You mean that they are not going to get their playtime if they run away. So if you want to play, you have to follow these rules. You can have fun. So this follow through, it's not just this particular example. There are so many examples that we can discuss here when it comes to, being able to follow through. I have a few even later in our discussion where, it's just about being at the grocery store, right? And your child's on the floor, wanting a candy all the time, no? You tell them, no candy today, and, you already had your candy at home. You're not getting a candy today, right? You told them this, you went to the grocery store, the child's still on the floor. what do? If you give them a candy at that time, the child's going to say, I go on the floor, I get a candy. Well, there you go. It's going to happen every single time. So usually when I am working with parents, I'm like, leave your cart, come back for it later, get your child, leave, because that's what you told them, that they're not getting candy. Does that ruin our plans? Yes, it absolutely does. Do you have to come back to do groceries? Yes, you have to. But this falling on the floor to get candy stops, right? So this is where, again, it may not be the best day to do it. It depends on you and how your day is going. But I just need us to kind of pay attention to our words and actions, right? We're going to be talking more about that. So yes, coming back to this example, you follow through, you try again, and you understand that the child understands that, you know what, mom said we're going home. She actually took me home. I did not get playtime. So that's that. And that's the hardest part. So that's absolutely the hardest part. I'm not sure if any of us have done this, but yeah, I had plans. I had packed a picnic bag and I was ready to spend the day at the park. And this happens. It just ruins the entire day. But I'm going to tell you this again, that I did this twice and I don't have to do that again. So I just tell this to parents too every single time. It works like a charm. They just need to know that you are very, very, very serious about what you're saying and what you're going to do. It's not a threat. It's not where, my mom just says things, she does not do it. She actually does. So we're going to understand and follow through on the expectations, right? So that's the hardest part. Once you get through it, it's a big one. Having said that, I kind of want to make sure that, even though we are working on the follow through, there is no requirement for us to be mean or to be yelling or to be, reprimanding the child. All of this can happen in a very calm, neutral tone. Again, like I said, yes, do I get angry when I'm doing this? Absolutely, yes. But it's not going to change anything when I'm talking to my child. Has it taken years of practice? Yes, it has taken years of practice, but it comes. The most important piece is the ability to follow through with a calm, neutral tone. And that's something for us to practice. Okay. I am now moving on to grandma's law. The grandma's law is first this, then that. I don't know if I can get a raise of hands to see if anybody's used this at all. Yes, no, maybe so. Have used, I can see Abiola raising her hand. It's the most, yes, it's the most common strategy that we use. But then why is this on my list of things today? Use it, it works. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Yes, okay. Okay, so why is this on my list of things? The key piece again here is the word follow through. Right? I can say 20 different things to my child and I use first and then every single time. First clean up, then iPad, right? What does clean up mean? For a child who's 3 years old, may not know what cleanup means. So you're going to be more specific about cleaning up. I want you to pick up the toys, put them in the bin. Those 2 books go back on the shelf. And there are 2 clothes on your bed. They need to go in your closet. Then iPad, right? So very, very specific instructions when you are using a simple strategy like first and then, right? For a child, I've often heard parents say, you know, I've probably done this too, stop whining, then you can get chocolate. Like, you know, what does whining mean, right? Sometimes in therapy, we will say, I want you to go sit down on the chair and show me you're ready, right? And then we will kind of discuss the next steps. So the first piece is as important as the then piece, because the first piece definitely needs to be crystal clear. What does it mean when I say first homework? What is homework? I don't know. So when I say these things to my son will do one sum out of 10 and say, I'm done. I did homework, and now it's time for me to play whatever, right? So over the years, I've learned myself and to kind of tell everyone that please be very specific, especially as kids grow up. They try and they know how to get out of even these strategies. So the more specific you are, the better. So these days, homework gets written. Everything that's on your Google Classroom, right? Everything gets written. And then you get this. So that. Now coming to the second portion, which is the then. So first, you're going to be very specific. The then piece is crucial because it either builds or breaks the trust with your child. So I say first homework, then say iPad, right? My son works really hard, and then I tell him, hey, you know what? I am so sorry. We have to go grocery shopping. So no iPad right now. So that is when everything just shatters, right? Because I told him, you do your homework, you really worked hard, but he didn't get his iPad, right? Again, for older kids, it's still okay. They can be a little more flexible, I'm going to say, but for our little ones, it is extremely important that you follow through with what you told them you would. So if you told them that you are going to clean up and then you're going to play with me, it must happen. It is absolutely crucial that it happens. You are keeping that trust. You are building that trust. They know that what you say is what you do. I've recently had an incident where this child has to work really hard through the week, and on Sunday they are going to go for ice cream, okay? And in this parent meeting, I was like, okay, so did you guys go for ice cream? Because, you know, all through the week, he got like beautiful, wonderful stars. And the mom was like, no. I mean, he forgot about it, right? He forgot about ice cream. And that's when, you know, I was like, okay, you know, we should follow through with this. And this seems to be a much more common thing than, you know, I would like to see, but that follow through after then is very crucial for everybody, for us to, you know, even as parents, just imagine if somebody told you that, you know, you're going to get paid on the 15th, and then they're like, oh, no, sorry, it just got delayed. You're not doing that. We are doing it later in the month. So yeah, just an example. But yes, so follow through, very crucial. We are not breaking the trust of children. And always do that. Don't manipulate with the little ones as much as possible. Keep it short, keep it clear, and follow through. That's what I have been speaking about all through until now. And this is what I'm saying, keep it short. How many times have I told you? You need to clean up. So yes, I do that sometimes as a parent. I have to catch myself to not do it. Keep it short basically means first clean up, then iPad. Don't go into bigger, you know, lectures or reprimands or anything. And this is what we spoke about. So I'm going to skip through this. And again, this is the big one. Action speaks louder than words. So less words, more action. So what does that mean? Again, coming back to follow through. What are my actions teaching? Do my actions match my words? Am I teaching the skill I want to see? Am I reinforcing the behavior that I want repeated? Am I accidentally reinforcing the behavior I want to reduce? So this is the grocery store example where my child is on the floor. I am too embarrassed. I'm going to give them the candy they want to just stop them from crying, right? So I am definitely reinforcing the behavior that I want to reduce, right? Is my child learning trust, safety, and predictability? Again, it comes from our actions. Is just, can I trust that this will happen? So in just the example of my own son, right? I always tell him, I'm like, you've got to make your bed, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And these days, since he's older, he gets dollars, right? $1, $2. And if he doesn't see that on the list, I don't see the behavior happen the next day, which is fair. So it's again, that's the trust and the predictability that they understand. It will be different for our little ones and different age groups, but it's more or less exactly the same, that you do what you say and you say what you do. If you don't mean to do something, don't say it. Don't say, like, this is something that I speak to my husband a lot of times. He'll be like, we'll probably go to play later in the day, and then it's 8 p.m. and then it hasn't happened, right? So then my son is like really, really sad. So don't make promises that you can keep. With our little ones, any age group, does not matter, right? So that's a big one. And this is kind of the example that we kind of spoke about. If a child screams for the phone and immediately receives the phone, screaming works. I just have to scream, I get the phone, all good. And even better if I do it in public, right? It comes faster. So, and it's the same thing. We are going to teach them, say, phone, please. I will give you the phone, because in any case, I am giving you the phone. It's just, instead of screaming, use your words. Let's say, phone, please, or touch the phone. So the goal is, like I've written, it's not to ignore or not give the child anything. It's just teaching them replacement, teaching them communication, teaching them different ways to access the same thing without engaging in behavior that may be inappropriate in social situations or any other time. So this is just an example. Yeah, this is what I've been talking about, because to be very honest, I was not very big on the word follow through because of, my experiences with it, where sometimes it can be really, really mean. Like, I'm like, gonna stand here with my arms crossed and I'm gonna wait until you're ready. And no, it does not have to be that, right? It does not have to be traumatizing to your child. It just has to be very firm boundaries with still you being the safe person for him, right? For your child. So you're still saying that what you did is not okay, but I'm here, we're going to work through this, we're going to, get through this together, but it does not mean I'm going to let you, hit somebody or throw something or anything of that sort. So validate feelings, but still hold boundaries. That's the big one here. Okay, coming to behavior as a skill gap. This will possibly, I'm going to try to wrap it up. I didn't have the time. Oh, 5 minutes. Abiola, you're going to let me know.
Yes, I will let you know. I think we have about 4 minutes to wrap this one up. Then we'll go to the questions.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so behavior is often a skill gap, right? So what are we saying when we say that the behavior is a skill gap? When a child is engaging in a behavior, they are telling us, we already went through this, behavior is information. They're trying to tell us that, they need to do something, that they themselves don't know. So we are going to be knowing that for them. If the child is screaming, something's too loud, requesting headphones, asking for a break, saying that it's too loud, moving them to a quiet space, right? So just they don't know how to tell us this, and they are engaging in a behavior. So how do we bridge this gap where you see a behavior, you know this is what it is, and we are going to give them the skills to reach the other side where they are themselves able to tell you that, you know, it's too loud. I need to get out of here. So that's basically what the skill gap is. So identifying that and being able to teach it. Once you have identified the skill gap, it's easy. And how are you going to know there's a skill gap? You know your child's profile, you know what works for him, and you know he's in a situation where it's a mismatch. And that's when you identify that this is where I need to kind of bridge it, right? The same thing with the park example, staying within boundaries, responding to stop, checking in with the parent. All of these are skill gaps that they need to be taught. Depending on the age, they may not learn these skills right away, but it's never too early to start teaching it. Safety is always first. Okay. Oh, I just had a visual of teaching children where they can play chase and where they cannot play chase, just again from that park example, in case they really like playing chase. So how are we going to incorporate visuals here? So we're going to teach them indoors, in the gym, in the backyard, in the fenced, but not in an open park, not in parking lots. So incorporating visuals for our visual learners is an excellent way of just driving the point. So we are not always using verbals. A lot of our kids don't process verbal instructions. They do better with visuals. And we have so many apps these days to make visuals. It's amazing. You just have to tell what you want and they just give you the visual, right? And I have these little bunch of things that are extremely helpful for all parents. Alexa is my top favorite at this time because it just helps everybody stay on track because she starts ringing as soon as you put a list of reminders. But again, visuals is the way to go for a lot of our clients, a lot of our children. Identifying what works with them, which of these visuals, again, ties back to the profile of your child, right? So just keeping that in mind, like not everything's going to work for everyone. Final takeaway. You understand the child, you can teach the skill. The key piece is identifying and knowing your child's profile and connecting it to how you can teach the skill. Behavior is not something to stop. It's information, yes, but again, you don't need to change everything. You don't need to change your life. Just one tool, one skill, one thing at a time. That's what's important. I did have a last one, but we don't have to do this if that's okay. It's just a challenge. It's a home challenge. Sorry, you're on mute, Abiola. I can't hear you.
I said we can do that in a breakout session, but you can walk us through this and we'll see how to do it. It's a home challenge, yes.
Okay, so it's just it's 10 minutes for child-led connection time. I'm not sure if you guys have already done this, but this is one of my favorite activities that I usually start off with parents. The goal and the challenge for you is 10 minutes that you spend with your child. You are not allowed to ask questions when you're playing with them. Not even what color are you, playing with, or ooh, where do you get this idea? No questions at all. So that's the challenge. And trust me, it's hard. It's not as easy as it looks. When I say child-led connection, oh, it's time to play. But as soon as we start tracking the number of questions that we want to ask when we are playing with our children, it's very interesting how high that number can go. But anyway, this was just a quick challenge that I had in mind for everyone.
Thank you, thank you,
That's
thank you so
wonderful.
much. This challenge, yeah,
Have
I'm
you
not
guys
sure
done
I'll
it
pass.
before?
I'm not sure I'll pass at the first try, but I know that probably after pinching myself several times, I will learn to keep quiet because I
Keeping quiet. You can comment. You can, just lead with not questions, just comments. So that's
Mm,
that's the key piece here. Just no questions. You can still talk. Um,
mm,
just as parents, it's I think wired. We're just
mm.
wired to constantly ask questions and but yeah, that's what I had for us here.
Thank you so much, Vrinda. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I think I took several nuggets. I have them on my screen, but I will not be sharing with everybody because I told everybody to take their pen and paper and take their own notes. But thank you so much for sharing. You've shared wonderfully about what we as parents need to do first. We need to understand our child and make sure that we do that child profile if you don't have that handy. And yes, you might have done it before, but it's good to always refresh and do that. And I think Demi has grown over the years, and I haven't done that recently. I think I should do that again because it has new interest, and there's
Yeah,
certain things that it responds to that is different from what it used to be. So
yeah. I think
thank you for.
even that, and even regulation wise, as they
Mhm.
grow, their preferences change and what helps them change.
Yeah.
So it's always a good idea to keep track of that.
Yes, yes. I also love the fact that you said that apart from, knowing our children's profile, we also need to know their skill map, their category skill map. Wherever your child can do, first of all, if your child can do things independently, if it's still developing, if that's not yet started, that's okay. But you need to identify where they are and gradually, put strategies in place to help them be more independent or learn those skills that they need to learn. Thank you so much for sharing. And I have more notes that I'm not going to share now. I have more notes that I'm not going to share now because I just know that I know we have lots of questions. And if you have any specific question from what Miss Vrinda has shared, it's okay. You can put that in the chat. But I will take the questions from Slido. I'm going to literally share my screen so that you can see that we came ready for you today. Let me see, share. Please let me know if you can see my screen. I'm not sure you can.
Yes, I can see the questions.
Yes, we have page 1, page 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. All
We have a
right.
we have page 1, we have page 2 of the questions. So I was trying to see if I can lump them together, but they're quite separate. But if you can just, at
I
a glance,
can, yeah. You
what
want me to
you can
start
do.
reading from the top one?
Yes, you can, if that's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. How can I help my son be more calm so he's able to focus more? Okay, so there are quite a few variables here, and I don't know how much time I can spend with for every question, but I can pretty much go deep in this one. There's a lot of variables when I talk about when somebody needs to be calm and being able to focus more. Now, I don't know what focus more means. Like, do you want him to be sitting in the school, say, for example, for 30 minutes, right? That's too long for some of our kids. And maybe the threshold's only 10 minutes. So one thing that I think really helps is understanding whether your child will benefit from a movement break. And after a movement break, he can have that period of focus. He's able to focus better when he can jump around, come back, sit for 10 minutes, go back, have his movement, right? So I'm going to tie this into knowing your child's profile, to know one, uh, what helps him be calm. So because you've mentioned be more calm, so I think there is something that is definitely helping, and you are trying to increase that time. Another piece is I would not aim for, if he's able to sit and focus for 5 minutes, my next goal is not going to be 30. my next goal from 5 is going to be 7 or 10, right? So small little increments in him being able to sit and attend to tasks. I'm going to assume this is in a school setting, or even home when he's doing work. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. Can I move on to the next one?
Yes, you can move on to the next question.
Okay. I have received reports about my daughter pouring water on other children and laughing, and also smashing laptops while appearing happy. This is concerning. It's definitely concerning. Daughter pouring water on other children and laughing. So as coming from an ABA background, I will have to figure out what's happening before and what's happening after. So if the daughter's pouring water on other children and she is getting that reaction where, they are either, happy about it or they are not happy about it. And that reaction is something that she's seeking, which I feel is also similar to what the other one, smashing laptops when appearing happy, because sometimes what happens is our reaction, if this is happening outside, for example, even if it's happening at home, we give a very big reaction, right? And sometimes when we say that it's attention, he's seeking attention, I'm going to say attention needs to come before. So spending time with the child, so she is not seeking that attention by engaging in these behaviors. But again, all of this is just based on this information. There definitely needs to be a little more, information for me to be definitely saying that it is an attention piece. So yes, that's what for the second one.
Okay, thank you.
Head hitting and biting occur when dysregulated, although it's not as severe as it used to be, for which I'm grateful. Can I get some advice on this? So I will want to find out what is causing the dysregulation here. A lot of times it can just be, I'm hungry, I'm tired, and somebody's asking me to do work. So I'm going to engage in, self-injurious behaviors, because that's my way of saying, okay, as soon as I do this, people leave me alone, right? So that function, like why is he dysregulated? I do think that's a very key piece here that is not mentioned. So that's where information is missing. So I do think we need to find out why that dysregulation is happening.
Sorry, I was starting from the the bottom.
Oh, you started from the bottom? Okay, no problem.
Okay, so
yes,
yes, I'm back to the top now.
Okay. How can we eliminate my child's head-hitting behavior when frustrated, both at home and school? She hits her head with a fist. So again, similar to the previous one, we need to understand why the frustration it is, right? Why is there frustration? Is there, so I know there was one point in there where I did not get to it, but we call it lagging skills. So if a child is only able to do single digit addition, and I am going to present multiplication word problems, right? There is that skill gap. The child doesn't know to say, I don't know how to do this. It is too hard, and then we see that frustration come in. So understanding why the frustration is happening in the first place is a great way to start off, like reducing any of the self-injurious behaviors. The first thing about self-injurious behaviors is obviously keeping them safe and making sure that, they're not really hurting themselves. But identifying frustration and the root cause is what I would like to know for this question. The next one is, my son eats paper and I am confused. It could be sensory. like, he's seeking that texture. Sound, texture. I don't know if he is like swallowing paper or is he just chewing on it and throwing it out? Because a lot of times when children seek the texture, that's when they start putting things in their mouth and they're trying to just, explore. So that's something that, we have to identify and dive deep into is, again, information that I would like is whether it's, being ingested or it's just something that he's seeking out sensory. If it is just seeking out sensory and he wants to put things, paper or something else, we could have some replacement, different types, something that is similar but not paper, like something for him to replace the sensory seeking. The next one is, how do you manage a child who randomly pees on himself? This is a child that has been fully potty trained for 6 years, just choosing not to go to the bathroom. So 2-3 things here. One, it could be a medical issue where, I mean, yes, in this they have mentioned that they're choosing not to go to the bathroom, but I would always have that medically checked out. If there is really no bladder control, maybe they're losing bladder control. Sometimes it just happens due to different medical reasons, even after being potty trained, which is definitely the first thing that I would rule out. Number 2 is, a lot of times in my experience, when this happens is it could be escaping the work. If it happens in school, they're trying to escape the place they're in, escaping the classroom, because if you're having an accident, you are being taken out to change and, everything just gets delayed. So it could be a lot of possibilities here as well. So yes, I think it could either be that, even the attention piece, like, maybe nobody's giving him attention except for when he's, having these accidents. So many different variables here as well. My child out of the blue made a hole in the wall because of being upset at being told to go inside the house. Okay, so question number 1, did he have the opportunity to say, I need more time outside? Did he want to stay more time? Does he have the words to say, I want to play more? So that is the communication aspect. Now, out of the blue made a hole in the wall. I'm thinking that this is the first time that it has happened. So next time, the same situation that, we were discussing is, I would teach him that if you want to stay outside more, let me know. You can use your words, tell me I need more time, put a timer, use a timer, let them know, give them transition warnings, because it clearly tells me that he didn't want to go inside the house. So another good thing that we can do is have a transition activity inside. So something that a child really likes. So in a very everyday example, I would say after you're done playing outside, maybe you can play 15 minutes on your PlayStation, right? So you have brought him inside with a very high reinforcing activity. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is something that we do as a transition activity. We bring the child in with something that he absolutely enjoys inside the house. So it's not like you're coming inside and you're going to take a shower. That makes a lot of kids upset, right? Sorry?
Who's going? I will mute the person. Yeah.
Okay. The next one, my child does a lot of biting at school, sometimes over 25 reported incidents in a day, but we have almost 0 at home. How can I help him? So I don't know if this biting is happening to others or himself, but If the biting is happening at school, again, the biggest piece to identify and ask the teacher is what frustrates him at school? Like, why and when does this happen? Does it happen during work time? Does it happen during leisure time, unstructured time? There's a lot of, unpredictable things that can happen at school. And if sometimes our kids don't know what to expect, they can be frustrated. And the biting will happen if any of those variables are affecting him. So identifying the root cause of these behaviors and also just asking them what happened before, like when, is a great question to start with. The next one is, how can we improve focus in my child? Sometimes she shuts down, closing her eyes in defiance, and does not want to perform a task when asked. Yeah, this is a tough one. Depending on the age and the skill level of the child, I do think a reinforcement piece definitely helps. I would really, like to see the reinforcement piece usually implemented before the defiance sets in our kids. But just telling them how good they're doing, small little things, I love how you put your glass back in the sink. Thank you so much for helping me, right? So small little things, just tell them how good they're doing. That defiance piece slowly starts to soften, that shutting down. Another piece not mentioned here is the age. I do see with girls, sometimes the defiance piece comes as they're hitting puberty, and that's just hormonal, and there's a lot going on and they can't process, and we do see that a lot in those years, right? So just I would just say, be the friend. Again, lots of reinforcement to go through the defiance phase. I would appreciate tips on eliminating elopement. Although it's gotten better, doesn't respond to stop when running off sometimes, although she understands, doesn't respond to stop when running off sometimes. Okay. Eliminating elopement. Again, depending on the age of the child, the same example that we discussed is telling them the consequence as to what will happen after, especially because she understands. It's not okay, and wherever we are going, we probably have to just go back if we don't listen. So following through, again, not trying to be mean, but just saying that it's not safe. It's purely from safety purposes. And yeah, I'm glad it's gotten better though. That's good. 11-year-old potty trained since 4, but recently started wetting himself. Behavior subsided at home in school, but he still wets himself on car rides. Okay. Question number 1, does he not enjoy car rides? I'm not sure. But it could definitely be that. Maybe distracting, keeping him engaged, using the iPad in the car can help if it is only during car rides. So yeah, started wetting himself. It's more or less like just identifying why and when it's happening. If it's only car rides, yeah, it could either be one, he does not enjoy car rides, or we just have to keep him occupied during car rides. So 2, how can I help my child improve focus and attention and stop speeding through his school worksheets? Okay, so speeding through is okay as long as the responses are accurate. If we are making errors on worksheets, so I know in Ontario, I really don't get to see any of the school worksheets, and I would never know if my son was speeding through them. If grades or if the numbers are any help, like him making mistakes and seeing that he scored low, if that's something that, you know, motivates him to do better, that's one. That's just for the speeding through of his school worksheets. Improve focus and attention. It's the same exact thing, is knowing, you know, knowing your profile. How much are you able to attend and how much are you able to focus? To be very honest, it gets better with age, and that's something that I tell parents too, is your 5-year-old is only able to focus for, you know, 5 to 7 minutes at a time, and they definitely need a movement break. But as they grow older, with practice, absolutely, they get better with focus and attention. But practicing is crucial. Getting them to sit and do some work. Again, do not expect them to sit for longer durations at home. If their attention span is 7 minutes, the next goal should be 9 or 10. Use a timer. Let them go play for like 2 minutes and then come back and sit down for the next round of, you know, 9 or 10 minutes. So practice this to increase focus and attention at home, which then I'm not going to say it generalizes over to school, because school situations are very different. There's so many moving pieces and there's so many structures and schedules and all of that for them to keep in mind. It may or may not generalize, but it's definitely a good idea to practice at home. My child recently is being more defiant. She's refusing to do activities, especially in school, and would rather just play outside. How can I help her? Again, I have no idea about, you know, the cognitive ability of this child we're talking about. Sometimes defiance and refusal to do activities comes in when they're bored. They think that they know what they're doing at school sometimes. Or it's the opposite, where the tasks presented are way higher than what they can actually do independently. So they're already expecting like a correction or something, and they just don't want to engage in it. They're kind of avoiding the activity altogether. So again, identifying her level, where she's at in school, and whether the tasks being presented are what she can do. I think that's a great start point for her. Again, being defiant, you really have to find out the reason why. Like, what's the expectation at school that's driving the defiance, right? So that's that. How do I deal with hyperactivity constantly on the go? I need remedies and protocols that can help. I have done lots of juicing. Okay. Okay. Again, now there could be levels of hyperactivity. I know we've mentioned constantly on the go. There is an age factor here as well, which is not mentioned. But age-wise, again, I do think when it comes to kids who are very, very, you know, constantly on the go, bouncing off the walls, a pediatrician is going to be your best friend to just identify what they can help you with. It's not something that, you know, can be done in like a day or two. It requires a lot of, you know, researching. Again, it is very, very, very client specific, child specific. Yes, and there are also different types of hyperactivity. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more information, you know, for us to discuss remedies at this point. But discussing, I would always keep my pediatrician updated about any sort of not being able to sit down, right? So just, yeah, pediatrician's your best friend at this point for that. How do you address different types of violent self-injurious behaviors that occur without any apparent triggers? Sometimes they happen even when in a good mood. Okay, I'm going to be the behavior analyst here and say that behaviors will not happen without any apparent triggers. Sometimes they even happen in a good mood. So sometimes what happens is our kids can ruminate on, events and memories, and sometimes it just comes back and they will engage in something. But yes, there definitely are some triggers, and sometimes it just takes us a little longer for us to identify what they might be. So yes, self-injurious behaviors, I would definitely consult with a professional to identify any triggers, do some data tracking to, help with these behaviors. We want to keep them safe. So, yep. How to support my 8-year-old son. He hits or pinches others when frustrated and will have a meltdown over the smallest things. Yeah, so I'm going to take us back to, the teaching, the lagging skills that we discussed. When frustrated, there could be 20 reasons why he can be frustrated, and we are going to have to teach him a way to communicate, what to do when he's frustrated. I know, like he right now is hitting and pinching based on the reason why he's frustrated. We could teach him alternate replacement behaviors to do when frustrated, right? Everybody gets frustrated. We are not going to stop, just stop being frustrated. It's just how can we channel that into him doing something else, right? When frustrated. We can be as simple as communicating that I'm upset, I need to leave, which is absolutely acceptable, but that needs to be taught. And going back to, us teaching, following through, maintaining boundaries, right? Hitting others is not okay. So we are going to work on something else, some other way of communicating. So, okay, how do I stop my son from laughing unnecessarily? It is too much. Okay. This is a very interesting one and something that I see very often. Laughing, it's written as unnecessarily. I'm going to kind of go with involuntary. It's not something that they are wanting to do. I'm not sure if in this situation it means involuntary, but I'm going to assume that. But in my experience, I'm going to say the underlying issue with this sometimes is they are feeling anxious. When they are feeling anxious, there is a lot of giggling, laughing. And this is something that I have seen in a lot of kids. It may not be appropriate for this particular child, but it's definitely something worth exploring, identifying when it happens. A lot of times it happens when schedules are changed, when there's a lot of unpredictability. So there is that anxiety component, that unpredictability component. So it's worth exploring. But yes, I definitely would like a lot more information on this. Next is, I noticed my 8-year-old get an erection when I try to play with him, like a hug, peg, tickle, or blow his tummy. This started last year. Again, depending on your family history, 8 years, I think a little early to hit puberty, but like a hug, peg, tickle, or blow his tummy. I'm going to say it's just 8 years old. We are not paying too much attention to it. That's where I would say it's fine for at least another year or two. Unless it becomes inappropriate, where as long as it's at home and he's playing with you, it's okay. But as long as it does not become socially inappropriate, I'm going to say it's fine. Yeah. My son started eating his shirts recently. Please, what can cause this and what is the remedy? He grinds his teeth too. Okay, so this definitely seems like he's having a lot of oral seeking, like a sensory seeking behavior. We do see like a lot of our kids want to eat their collars. Getting a sensory profile done for him will be the best way to, go about it. Grinding his teeth. I do know that SLPs and OTs, they work on strengthening the oral muscles for the grinding piece. So definitely a sensory profile will be beneficial for him. How can my son? Oh, I think we did this one. And we did this one.
Yes, we did. I think we've gotten to eating. Yes, we did this one. Eating by children. Oh, fantastic. We went through 25 questions.
Yes, I would have loved some information on a few of them to be a little more specific, but yeah.
Thank you so much. That was loads of questions. I know for all these different questions, we need more clarity on exactly what
Some
is
of them,
happening.
yeah.
Yeah, the antecedent, what's happening before this behaviors comes up and before we can provide solution. But like you said, you would definitely advise they work with a specialist to unravel what is going on and be able to provide strategies to support the child going forward.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you please help me say thank you to Miss Vrinda in the chat? We've taken our time. We've taken our time. Thank you so much, Vrinda, for coming to share with us. I sincerely appreciate you. We are grateful. You can see their hearts are jumping up. Thank you so much for sharing. And definitely an action point. Everybody needs to go ahead and do their child's profile again and see where they're at now so that we better understand their behavior, what the behavior is communicating. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rinda. God bless you.
Welcome, Abiola.
Bless you. I'm going to share your social media handle. I know you've been very busy. I've not been seeing you post so much. I've been busy as well.
Social media is not my strength. Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah, I know you share strategies from time to time, but I'll share that in the community so they just joined, and when you post, they can, learn from the more insights you share online. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I'll let you go now, and we'll try and see if we can do the homework you gave us, the challenge.
Yes, that'll be great. Thank you so much for having me. All right.
Thank you, Brenda. Bye. Okay, guys, how was that? That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. A lot of lessons learned. We need to go back and do our child's profile so we identify where they are, especially all behaviors coming up, and then we know how to support them going forward. I think that is one action point that I'm taking away. Apart from that, I caught myself that I don't follow through. I say so many things, but I don't follow through. So that is one area I definitely need to do better on. I need to follow through when I give certain instruction, not only to Demi, but to my 15-year-old, 14-year-old. I should be able to follow through and help them be more structured. So yes, that is that. I'm thankful to Vrinda for sharing with us. But now, for the next 26 minutes that we have, let's just do, we will not go out to breakout room because I don't think we'll have enough time for breakout room. But let me know if you have any questions, something particular that you're struggling with, that you need help navigating. Let's talk that through together here, so that we can quickly tackle that, and then we'll share things happening later in the month. Of course, Comparate is happening last Sunday of the month. That would happen by 3 o'clock. So if you are a faith-believing individual, please join us as we pray for our children. We not only pray for our children, we pray for all home kids. So please join if you are available. But yeah, before that, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand up or unmute yourself, and let's take your questions. Any questions? It's Sunday. I would love to run back to. Let me behave myself. Yes, Margaret, unmute yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Hi,
Thank you so much for the eye-opening session. It was amazing, and I learned so much. In fact, I feel unprepared right now. So there's a lot of work to do. So I was going to ask questions about changing schools. Like if you can give me insight, my children are changing from one school to another. They are moving to another school. Right now, my brain is on mental freeze. I don't even know, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm putting everything in place. I'm just looking to get tips on the kind of questions I should ask the old school and the new school so that I can make sure that the handshake is at least as good as possible. I don't know if I'm asking the right question now, but
Yeah. That is a
I
valid
have my
question.
brain.
What we do now is any questions, we can all chime in. Is anybody who wants to chime in and start answering that question for Margaret? Anybody want to start before I had to 1 or 2 cents to that question? You guys are experienced mummies and daddies, so please just share from your experience. I don't want to be the only one talking. Then I will add to whatever you had said. Anybody want to take a stab? Okay. Okay, so Margaret, while people are thinking of what to do, I think for me, changing school is a big deal. And like you said, your head is not on freeze, it's just that you're navigating so many things at the same time. So it could be overwhelming thinking about that as well. So as much as possible, don't get too stressed up about that. But one thing or 2 things I would want you to do is before you leave the school, make sure you get all of your child's report, all your child's accommodations, all your child's support. What do you call it? Accommodation support. Um, there's this term that is skipping me now. But once I remember, I'll put it in the chat. But make sure you get your child's report, your child's IEP in the past, what that has looked like, the entire IEP document. Get that. Let them send that to you via email, but they should also send that to the new school. And apart from that, there should be transition from, if you can, schedule a meeting before school ends between your current school and the new school. Let the CERT, that's the special education resource teacher, connect with one another. They know the information they should ask so that they can best support your child when they transition to the new school. So make sure you do that connection between both of them. And if you need to fill any form or sign any forms for them to share documents, please do sign all those forms before you leave the school terms end. Then another thing, in the new school, you should usually do like transition warning for your child, whereby your child will come to school and they will show your child around. This is the library, this is the washroom, this is where your class is going to be. The class teacher will not be there, but at least your child is familiar with the environment. This is where the gym is. They will do all those transitions so that your child is somewhat familiar with the school. So I think they will do that once before the new school term resumes. Those are the 3 things coming to mind that I think you should do before the school end. Number 1, just to recap, facilitate that CERT meeting between both school. Number 2, make sure you get all your reports from the old school, have a copy and let them sign anything you need to sign so that they can share that to the new school, and then do the transition warning. But make sure you get your IEP or your child's current accommodation. Make sure you go through it and make sure that there's nothing missing. Those are 3 things I would leave you with. Next question. Who has another question? Anybody else? Any question? Trust me, I'm looking forward to just going back to lying down. So if you have a question, please unmute yourself. I love you, but I'm learning to love myself too. Anybody has a question? Okay, looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. Okay, Deborah, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this. I've learned so much and I'm so grateful for this platform. Yeah, so my son is starting kindergarten in September. So I think it's similar to the previous question.
Okay.
I've been having like a meeting with the school principal and all the team and things like that. But I just want to like ask from experienced people what you should do in trying to help my son to transition into that, especially with the nap time. I think that's one of the things I'm thinking of, because he's at the daycare now and he's still having his nap. And I know when he gets to school, it's not something that will be possible, like how to navigate that. Yeah, just tips on how to prepare for kindergarten.
Okay. Deborah, I think we scheduled a one-on-one. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because of that, somehow my mind has been thinking about what that conversation will look like. And I got a very cool video that can help you to start learning how to support your child for that transition. I'm just trying to copy it from my phone and I will drop that.
Can I please add something?
Yes, please go ahead while I do
So
that.
concerning the nap, they do have, I think, like 20 minutes time to maybe rest. Some of them sleep, some of them don't. So does not be the normal 2 hours they do in daycare. So I'm sure they did that so children can easily transition. So there's 20 minutes. Is it recess that they call it or something? I can't remember anymore, but they do have 20 minutes. You can confirm, maybe your school doesn't do that though. But I know when my son started JK, they had 20 minutes to nap or something. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Bolanle. It's been forever I did that. So
Thank you so much.
I can't remember. But I dropped there was a video I saw and I saw that it was very, very good for any child transitioning to school now. These are skills that your child needs to be able to do, and it will even help with focus. You can see that in the chat. They have things to help strengthen the grip, occupational therapy exercises. There are even some things here that I want to do for my 11-year-old son. So I'll strongly encourage you to watch that video. I just copied it in the chat. Quickly grab it before we end the meeting and save it somewhere on your WhatsApp or on your Instagram and play it over and over. Look for those materials and get your child to, play with these activities. These are the activities that will help your child focus, be able to sit, and also the fine motor skills, strengthen their fine motor skills before they're holding pencils and all that. So this was something I planned to share with you earlier on, but I can as well share that with you now and you can start ruminating over it. Yes. Is your hand still back up or you have a follow-up question?
No, I'll be off for now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, lest I forget, I'm supposed to put the WhatsApp link in the chat. Let me see who can help me. But does somebody else have any question while I do that? Oh, Tolu is here. Those are my super admins. Lara, my guy is here, Jerry. Lara, please help me put the WhatsApp link in the chat so that Deborah and there was someone else that joined, Deborah, and I missed the name now. I hope I still have her here. She can join the WhatsApp community and we can take
Marvelous.
Marvelous, yes. Where is Marvelous? I can't see your name more. Marvelous, are you still here? Okay. I will check our database and look for her there so that she can also have the opportunity to join the WhatsApp group and ask questions. If you have any further question, please feel free to raise your hand or just unmute yourself. But while we are waiting for the next question, Deborah, just to give you a context of how the WhatsApp group are parents in UK, US, Canada, Nigeria. And what we literally do is if you have any problem, question, you're trying to navigate a situation, you don't know how to or what to do, feel free to use that WhatsApp group to drop a question. Somebody will reach out to you. Or the other thing we do there is we also celebrate our children milestones. We know on our journey things are not rosy for anybody. So if your child achieves a milestone or if you are celebrating a milestone, we see ourselves and families and we would like to celebrate with you. And another thing we do is, yes, we cry together. This journey teaches us a lot. We cry together. If there are things that makes you feel overwhelmed, you're so stressed out and you just need a shoulder, somebody that would really get what you're going through. You can put that in the chat and of course we'll reach out to you, we'll pray with you, we would cry together and we'll share strategies that will work. And from time to time we do challenges. This year I think we've done 3 challenges. The first challenge was a March where we focused on our health, and we did a 60K weekly challenge. I think April, we did Juice and Ep challenge for our children, where we were holding ourselves accountable and trying different herbs that can help support our children regulation. And I think the May, in May, we did the IKFI strategy challenge, whereby we're trying to layer onto our children's independence so that they can do things more independently themselves without us being there. So yes, from time to time, as the Spirit leads and nudges me, those challenges will come up, and feel free to sign up if you want to join. But that's one of the ways which we support ourselves, and we'll be happy to have you here. And yes, we have COAAMF praise. We pray together. We share our testimonies. We fast. We fast, that we meet at the last Sunday of every month. So please feel free to join COAAMF praise. The link is in the chat. But yes, there are so many ways you can plug yourself in TWC, in Chronicles of an Autism Foundation. But yeah, feel free to connect with us, whatever you feel like. We would definitely work with you on this journey. Thank you. Okay, looks like that is all the question. Or is there any other question? Don't mind me. Tomorrow is Monday. I need to prepare for work as well. Tomorrow is Monday. Thank you, Deborah. We are glad to have you here as well. Any final question before we run away or call it a day? I'm telling myself to remember to be formal and be. I'm too playful. Any further question before we wrap it up for today? No? I'm assuming, I'm going to take that we're all thriving. At least we have a better hang of what we are doing with our children. Would that be it? Thumbs up? Okay, before I run away, let me say a big shout out to my big brother. I can see my big brother here, Larry Fadayomi. Hello, thank you for connecting and thank you for supporting us. We love you too. That's my elder brother from Lagos, Nigeria. And in the absence of any questions, I know during the week or the next few weeks, I will try and post the challenge questions that Vrinda has suggested that we do with our children. Just sit with them, not asking questions, but actively engaging with them. I'll post that in the WhatsApp community or on Instagram. But yes, it's something that we need to do from time to time to build trust and that connection for our children. Thank you for sharing, Lara. Yeah, forms, yes. I know Deborah, yes. But is the WhatsApp link there? Let me quickly get that for Deborah before we go. And that will be it for today. Thank you all so much for joining TWC. The next one, by the grace of God, will be... Oh, okay. So if there's a chat, wherever the parent that shared that that child was laughing uncontrollably, reach out to Tolu in the main group. You will see her there. Next TWC will be, I know we're in June. In July, by God's grace, we should have an in-person Canada Connect. So for those who are in Canada, look out for that. For those who want to fly in from UK, please book your ticket. There's accommodation for you. Just become me. We'll come and eat the jollof rice and the puff together and chicken. But if you are coming from anywhere, just let me know. Please, let's connect. We will have an in-person TWC in July next month. And yes, communications regarding that will be in the WhatsApp group, hopefully this week by God's grace. God help me with so much that I'm doing, but yes, we'll put that out this week by God's grace. But thank you all so much for joining. I hope you learned one thing or two from Vrinda's sessions, and those who asked questions, you got some answers to what you need to do, follow-up questions that you need to have with your child's ABA therapist. And I just trust that by the grace of God, all our children will thrive in Jesus' name. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm going to stop recording and stop YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abiola.
Thank you, son.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you. Have a nice week.
Love you.
Love you. Have a
Bye-bye.
blessed week.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Goodbye. You see it? I'll call it stars. Be making me, please be going, Joe. You're tantalizing me with your voice. Goodbye.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
sis.
Hey, Abiola,
Ah,
that's my
nice.
niece. You see, we look alike. You can see my face
She's
on
so
her face.
cute.
That's my
She's so
niece.
cute.
And that's my little one there. Harry, love you. Mwah. Good night.
Bye,
Good
nieces.
night. Thank you. Bye.